Finally, Chelsea signed a striker. And while this might not be the superstar name that everyone was expecting, Liam Delap is still a beast. Young, powerful, hungry for goals. This is a player that has already made noise in the Premier League. He wasn't playing in a dominant side. He was battling in a team fighting to survive. And yet week after week, he was the one carrying them forward, creating chances, scoring goals. Instead of overpaying for mediocre talent the way United does, Chelsea are betting on potential. They believe that they can turn this raw, fearless talent into something special. So how good is Liam Delap, and how much can he improve Chelsea? Erbali and co watched that Conference League final performance and realized they can't go another season with just Jackson up front. Well, enter Liam Delap, a proven Premier League striker. Chelsea fans should know all about him because he scored and assisted when Ipswich beat the Blues. It was Ipswich's first Premier League win at home since 2002 and their first win over Chelsea since 1993. It's okay though, Chelsea fans, he's gonna be on your team now. Delap scored 12 of Ipswich's 36 league goals. Yes, he was responsible for 33% of his team's goals, and he did it while barely getting any service from his teammates. At Ipswich, he played in a counter-attacking team and really stood out. His strong, powerful runs forward were a big part of their season. He pretty much carried most of the team's attack and scored 10 goals from open play. Now what makes Delap so good is that he can score in a variety of ways. He can smash it from distance or sneak it in with a clever touch at the near post. No matter which way he does it, he's always looking to get on the score sheet, which is a beautiful sign to see from your striker. You want him hungry for goals. As we will see later in the video, Delap is a dual threat. He's not only just a modern striker that likes the ball to his feet and can drop deep, he's also like your classic number 9s from the Barclays era. Guys that love to bulldoze through defenders, make runs in behind, get involved in the box. The stats show that a big part of his game is making forward runs, especially into the box to meet crosses. He's the kind of striker who always wants to be in the right place at the right time to score. It's actually something that he has been working on since his City days, developing the ability to be able to score all sorts of goals, headers, tap-ins, long-range shots. From an early age, he wanted to be well-rounded. And yes, Delap is an academy product of Manchester City. And guess who coached him for a year there? That's right, the Italian Lex Luthor, Enzo Maresca. The Italian told the BBC in December that Delap is a fantastic striker for his age and that England are very lucky to have him. Makes sense why he said that. In the year the two worked together, Delap scored over 20 goals. Only one player has scored more for the Italian in his managerial career, and that's Palmer. Guess Maresca was laying the foundation early by buttering up Delap. The English striker joined Manchester City in 2019 and impressed right away. Here is a game between City's under-18s and Everton's under-18s, and look at which two players were linking up that day. That's Palmer with Delap. Palmer actually scored twice that game and then got sent off. I'm gonna brush aside the fact that Palmer somehow got a red at youth level and focus on the fact that it was Delap who set up both of his goals that day. That match was just the 4th time that the two had featured together for City's under-18s, but it was a game that would foreshadow the relationship between the pair. Since those under-18 days, Palmer and Delap have actually played together 33 times for City or England's youth teams. Their record together is crazy. They won 28 games and lost just twice. In terms of points per game, Palmer only has a better record with one other player in his career, and that was with Bernardo Silva at Manchester City. His partnership with Delap is just as successful as the one that he had with Rodri, a man who barely lost a game for Pep Guardiola's side. It's kind of crazy, both of these guys at City's academy, Maresca at City's academy. Add in Lavia and Chelsea just keep stealing all of the best things coming out of Manchester City. Anyways, Delap dominated so much with the City elite development squad that he was called up to the first team. On his first team debut, he actually scored in a 2-1 win against Bournemouth in the Carabao Cup.
What a way to announce yourself as a first-team footballer.
Then, in typical Pep Guardiola fashion, he praised Delap.
He's an exceptional striker. Many teams want him. He has, maybe he's the most requested player we have had since we arrived.
Confirmed that he would continue training with the first team. Then in April of 2021, he confirmed that Delap would be moved up to the first team permanently in the following season, but never used them again. Now, it didn't help that Delap got an injury to his foot during the 2021 preseason and kept getting more injuries. He had to wait all the way till February of 2022 to appear again for City. In the limited minutes though, he actually played well. He won a penalty for the 4th goal. At City though, he never really got a chance. In August of 2022, he was sent out on loan to Stoke City City, he got a few goals but nothing special. He was recalled by City on January of 2023 and sent to Preston North End for the remainder of the season. Then the next season, he was sent out on loan to Hull City. He did better there, 8 goals in 31 appearances, and he was even named Hull City's Player of the Month for December. After being bounced from club to club like Bonnie Blue, Delap finally showed his abilities at Ipswich. That's where he was able to finally get some consistent first team football. He ended up being one of the few players in a blue shirt who actually stood out. He had to generate the majority of his own chances, but when you watch him play, he's always running, always aggressive. When you play for a bad team, it's very easy to get frustrated and not run off the ball because you know that at the end of the day, it's kind of pointless. Your team is going to lose anyways. I mean, I'm pretty sure the Ipswich website was down because they couldn't string together 3 W's. So the fact that Delap was always hungry for goals, despite playing on such an ass team, it says a lot about his character. Because no matter what was happening in the match, he was always in a rush to get on the score sheet. Whether he was thumping it in or finishing with a delicate touch, he was always hungry for goal. What makes him such an interesting striker is that he's a hybrid of the out-and-out 9s that we used to see in the Premier League and the modern-day forward who likes to drop deep and pick up the ball in pockets of space. This combo should really get Chelsea fans excited because he can bully defenders the same way that a Drogba or Diego Costa could do, but he's also comfortable with the ball at his feet like a Harry Kane. I'm not saying he's as good as those guys. I'm just saying he has the skills in his locker to do those type of tasks. So he is a double threat. There are many times where he picks up the ball deep in his own half and just takes off, charging forward, daring defenders to try and stop him as he drives straight towards goal. And when this guy gets going, it's very difficult to stop him because of his speed, because of his strength. When you look at his numbers, it becomes even clearer. Compared to other Premier League strikers, Delap makes way more driving runs with the ball, and no striker in the league covered more ground per carry than he did. And pretty much all of the time, he just has one goal in mind when he gets the ball. He wants to get to the net and put the ball in it. Look at where he is on this chart. He carries the ball more than Isak, Jared Bowen, and significantly more than Jackson. Now, I imagine when he plays with better players, he's not going to just put his head down and go forward. But it's nice for the Blues to know that they have a striker that has this sort of quality in his locker. The best example of what I'm talking about is his goal against Fulham. He gets the ball close to the halfway line, puts his head down, and starts driving through the middle of the pitch. He's more aggressive than the guys who try and rob your wallet in London. He shrugs off Andres Pereira and then rifles a shot into the top corner. This is a goal purely made by Delap. Nobody helped him, nobody created the chance for him. He took the ball all by himself and scored it like it was pro clubs. Now, don't be expecting the poor guy to do this week in, week out for Chelsea, but it makes you wonder, if he can do this without any help, what can he do when he has players like Palmer and Enzo creating for him? So we covered how good Delap is on the ball, but arguably his best quality is what he does without the ball. He has a tremendous work rate. The graphic below from The Athletic shows what kind of runs Delap makes the most. He's always looking to get forward. A big part of his game is making runs ahead of the ball or slipping in behind defenders to create scoring chances. He also makes a lot of runs into the box to get on the end of crosses, which shows just how active he is in dangerous areas. This is a great sign because it means when Madueke actually gets his head up and puts a cross in, there's going to be a guy in there who's looking to score. These numbers highlight what kind of striker he is. One who lives at the front of the attack and is constantly looking to put himself in the right spot to score. Now, to be fair, Jackson actually makes a lot of the same runs as Delap already. When the Senegalese gets him behind, it helps Chelsea in 2 ways. You can either play through him, in which case he's offering an option closer to goal, but if you don't want to play him through, his run pulls the backline further back, which creates space for the likes of Cole Palmer. Movement has never been an issue with Jackson. It's actually his best quality. It's the inconsistent finishing after getting the ball in the right areas that usually lets him down. In the 2025 season, Delap was a more clinical striker, and many feel that he has an even higher ceiling that he can reach. So essentially, he can provide you the same runs that Jackson did, is younger, and he's more clinical in front of goal. Cause look at the comparison of their stats. Delap and a far worse team. Remember, Ipswich finished 19th. He had more goals, less big chances missed, and a better shot accuracy. His expected goal was only 9.34, yet he scored 12 times, while Jackson underperformed his expected goals by 2. The Ipswich striker finished in the top 10 players in terms of expected goals over performance. This metric looks at how many extra goals a striker scored compared to the quality of chances. In that same metric, 3 out of Chelsea's first choice front 4 finished in the top 10 most wasteful players in the Premier League. That's kind of crazy to see, I'm not gonna lie. It's not just about the finishing. For example, Jackson ranked 11th out of all Premier League players in the 2025 season for progressive carries up the pitch, which is a decent ranking, but his tally was not as good as Delap's, who ranked second in that category behind only Nottingham Forest's Anthony Elanga. Now Jackson does create more and he makes more accurate passes, but we do have to keep in mind again that Delap was playing on a counter-attacking team that was just trying to survive. Now of course, one thing that Delap doesn't have is the connection that Jackson and Palmer have together. The two combined for a goal in 7 different matches in the 2025 season and 15 overall. You could see just how good the two are in the Conference League final, although I don't know what this finish is from Jackson. Got the job done, I guess. The connection between Jackson and Palmer was one of the biggest reasons why Chelsea were at the top of the table midway through the 2025 season. The two just connect so well. And again, it wasn't a surprise that Palmer's form took a dip when Jackson was out for injury. That connection between an attacking midfielder and the number 9 is very important. But as we saw before, it shouldn't take long for Delap to form a similar type of connection with Palmer, considering the two have actually played together before. Sure, it was at the under 18 level and long time ago, but there's no reason these two can't play wonderfully together. It's a match made in heaven. A fast, aggressive striker being fed by one of the most creative players in world football. And what's great is that Delap is already adjusted to the Premier League. This isn't a foreign player coming to the Prem for the first time. He's not adjusting to a new country, new language, or new culture. This guy has always played in England, and he has already shown that he has no problems destroying Premier League teams. Because these numbers are honestly so impressive given the fact that he had no help. Now he's gonna have multiple wingers around him that can create, midfielders that can find him when he's open. So many different clubs wanted Delap, so the fact that Chelsea got him is a huge win. Their spot in the Champions League definitely helped seal the deal. It's a huge pull. I mean, the guy's gonna go from fighting relegation to singing the Champions League anthem. Hopefully he doesn't start weeping like the Arsenal fans did when they heard the anthem. Let's act like we've been here before. Delap is one of the most exciting young players in English football, so the fact that he chose Chelsea says a lot about the project being built at Stamford Bridge and Delap's character. He wants to compete. He wants to be on a team filled with players as young and hungry as him. He's also proving Jamie Carragher wrong. Yes, players still want to sign for Chelsea. For the people that might still be disappointed that Delap isn't a big name, let me give you a stat that puts into perspective just how much potential he has. Only Cole Palmer scored more Premier League goals for Chelsea than Delap did for Ipswich in the 2025 season. That was his first year in the top flight, and he got 12 goals while playing for a team that struggled and finished near the bottom. This is a great player to bring in, especially since Maresca has mostly relied on Jackson as his only real number 9. So bringing in Delap not only gives the squad more options up front, but it also gives you depth. We are at a point now that depth is no longer a luxury, it's a necessity. With so many different competitions and injuries happening all the time, you have to be able to rotate without seeing a drop off in quality. We saw what happened to Chelsea when Jackson was injured. His movement was vital, while now Delap can offer the same quality up front, if not better. And thanks to the release clause in his contract, Chelsea were able to get him for a bargain, because if that clause didn't exist, Ipswich could have easily asked for a much higher fee. And because the fee is so low, it's essentially a low risk, high reward deal for Chelsea. Even if he doesn't play well, there's always demand for an English striker, and it would be very easy to recoup the fee. You can always sell him for a premium to Manchester United like you guys did with Mason Mount. And then if Delap plays well, his market valuation will instantly go to the moon. Do you guys remember how highly priced Ferguson was after one good season with Brighton? £30 million will become a fraction of what this guy's worth. I mean, it's already a tiny fee compared to how high his ceiling is. Now, Delap is only a small piece in the massive jigsaw puzzle that is Maresca's Chelsea. To see how Enzo Maresca is building an army at Chelsea, you have to check out this video right here.